Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
First at 4:30, we have breaking news this morning. A car shop catches fire in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on that scene. We'll tell you what we're learning about the incident and damage.
And happening today, several local organizations of Jewish faith are coming together as the conflict in Israel continues. We're hearing from people from the Triangle stuck in that area right now, describing what they're seeing.
Grab the jacket. It's a chilly start this morning. Temperatures are in the 30s in a couple of places. I'll show you when we start to see temperatures closer to normal.
And all new this morning, while you may not be able to get your prescriptions filled at some Walgreens locations today, we'll explain the move that's happening that could impact you and your family's health. Welcome in on your Monday morning, October 9th. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for NHU.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, great to have you along here. It is a chilly start, just like yesterday. We're carrying this into our work week here. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with those temperatures. Wow.
Yeah, look at that. 39 in Southern Pines and in Roxborough. Elsewhere, temperatures are in the low to mid 40s. So it is a chilly start, but it's not going to look like this all week long. We're going to see a gradual warm up. We do have frost advisory in effect west of the Triad area and then just to our east as well. Of course, we have seen some temperatures in the upper 30s. We're not likely to see any widespread frost across our area. We take a look at what's happening out there. 46 degrees, light wind, so you don't have a wind chill to deal with. And of course, we're looking at clear skies, so we do have the tower lit up in blue to signify just an absolutely gorgeous day. Now, we do have a low pressure system that's going to swing in. So late this afternoon into the evening from Raleigh northward, we're going to see some cloud cover and maybe an isolated shower. We take a look at Futurecast. It's nice and bright everywhere this morning. We roll through beautiful sunshine, at least through lunchtime, if not beyond. There's lunchtime. You can see a few showers up into Virginia. By the time we get to 5 o'clock, we start to see some cloud cover. And then around dinner time, there could be a sprinkle if you're anywhere from Durham northward. Our temperatures are chilly this morning. We keep it in the 40s up until 10 a.m. and then we get into the 50s. We'll see the highs around 70 this afternoon. So noticeably warmer than it was yesterday.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Rocket launches and gunfire rage into a third day between Israel and Hamas militants as you look live at Gaza City right now. The skyline there. New this morning, Israel says it has brought in special forces to try to regain control after the militant group launched its unprecedented attack and invasion. More than 1,000 people are dead in Israel and Gaza after the attacks and Israel's retaliation. The UN says more than 120,000 people in Gaza are displaced now after retaliatory strikes that destroyed housing units. At least 4 Americans are among the dead in Israel. The rampage included an assault on a music festival where attackers killed more than 250 people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his security cabinet is working to destroy Hamas's ability to govern. Biden administration and Senate leader Chuck Schumer say the U.S. will support Israel any way it can.
And some of that support is already on its way. The U.S. military is moving ships and aircraft closer to Israel. U.S. officials say although they're taking action immediately, assets will not be in place for several days. They're also working on a plan to help evacuate Americans from Israel. As of right now, nothing has been decided, but officials say it may involve putting some Americans on Navy ships to get them to safety.
Also today, local groups across the Triangle will come together to show their support for Israel. It's been a constant theme in the area since the unprecedented attacks began over the weekend. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live with a look at how the Jewish community is being affected by all this. Laura.
Jeff, good morning. The connections to the conflict happening there in Israel are deep here in the Triangle as it is impacting many people. Some folks have family there. Some people were visiting there over the weekend. I spoke with one man who traveled there over the weekend with his wife and a church group that's from the Triangle area. He was sitting in the airport and telling me that they were hoping they could get on the next flight out to a safer country. They were planning to fly out to Dubai because no American flights are going over that area at this time. Now, here happening at this community center, the David R. Kahn Community Campus, they're going to have a gathering to support the local community, also praying for those who are in Israel. Now, they also described seeing Israeli militant groups canvassing nearby beaches and extra law enforcement at the airport. The focal point of the violence is in southern Israel near the Gaza Strip, but the devastation reaches every person of Jewish faith. WRAL spoke with Frank Turner, who's from Raleigh, now stuck in Israel, and he describes hearing the initial signs of that attack.
The idea was as severe, horrific as it was. We just thought it was a couple of rockets had been lobbed, and I think that's what most people in Israel thought.
Again, this is why several local organizations are holding gatherings today. The one here at the David R. Kahn Community Campus, there are going to be federal, state, and local leaders here joining them as well. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
And folks came together yesterday in Moore Square in support of Palestinians. Dozens showed up for a rally. You can see several people have signs. They were seen marching and chanting in downtown. The organizer is highly critical of Israel.
We're out here to call for a free Palestine, to demand the end of the blockade on Gaza, to demand the end of U.S. aid on giving U.S. aid to Israel, and to demand the freedom of all Palestinian prisoners.
Groups on both sides of the conflict have been holding rallies. More are expected across the area and the U.S. today. And we'll continue bringing you updates on this conflict as we get new developments around the clock. When we are not on the air, you can visit WRAL.com or the WRAL News app.
We turn now to breaking news we're following this morning. Crews responded to a car shop that went up in flames hours ago. Brett Neese was on the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker, and here's what he learned about the investigation.
The fire broke out a little bit before 2 a.m. at this building on South Wilmington Street. Officials say there is significant damage, even though you can't see it from the roadway. Crews had to access water to fight the fire from a hydrant across Wilmington Street. That caused police to shut down both directions of the road for about an hour. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. I'm working to learn from investigators if they know what caused this fire. Brett Neese, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Now, this morning, a woman is dead and a juvenile has life-threatening injuries after a home invasion ended with a shooting. It happened in Moore County, and deputies say they responded to a home on Forest Circle in Aberdeen Sunday afternoon. When they arrived on that scene, they found the woman and a young person shot. Authorities believe one of the people responsible was shot by the homeowner. It's unclear if the juvenile shot was involved in this home invasion. Authorities say a person of interest is being questioned.
We're working to confirm information about a report of a shooting in Raleigh. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker arrived at the scene on Orchard Knob Drive yesterday afternoon to find a heavy police presence and crime scene tape up. This is near Battle Bridge Road. We have calls out to police, and we'll provide updates when we get them.
And sanitation workers in Rocky Mount plan to rally outside tonight's city council meeting as they call for a pay raise. The push comes after the city raised starting salaries for police and firefighters earlier this year. Some sanitation workers say their department deserves it too. The city says under the new budget, nearly all sanitation workers received raises between 5% and 24%.
Some Walgreens pharmacies may be closed starting today as employees are planning a series of walkouts. They say harsh working conditions and staffing problems are making it difficult to safely fill prescriptions. One organizer says at least 500 Walgreens nationwide have shown interest in a walkout. In a statement, Walgreens acknowledged employees are overworked. Organizers say the walkouts will last through Wednesday.
And for more than 11 weeks now, there has not been a Powerball jackpot winner. You have the chance again to change that tonight. The estimated jackpot now sitting at $1.5 billion. It is the third largest in the game's history. If no one wins tonight, this could become the second largest by Wednesday. You can watch tonight's drawing live right here on WRAL.
Coming up on 440 right now, destruction in Afghanistan. Coming up after the break, we have a look at the desperate search and rescue efforts that are underway after a powerful earthquake hit there, killing at least 2,000 people.
Plus, Dallas takes a dive. How the Cowboys were unable to match up against the San Francisco 49ers in Sunday Night Football.
We'll also give you this live look down Salem Street in Apex. And Elizabeth Gardner will be back in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking a chilly start to our work week.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
442, we take a live look at Apex, and you can see everything is quiet. Temperatures are chilly, though. We're in the upper 30s in a few spots out there. We take a look. It's 43 in Lewisburg. It's 39 in Southern Pines right now. 40 in Tarboro, 40 in Irwin, 42 Rocky Mount, 43 in Goldsboro. So it feels very much like it did this time yesterday. Our skies are clear. It's absolutely beautiful. If you're headed out the door for exercise, I went for a little run yesterday morning, and, it's time to, put on the little ear warmers. I get cold really easily. Our temperatures are in the 60s by lunchtime. We do climb to 70 this afternoon, so it looks absolutely beautiful. From here on out, we see a gradual warm-up. Temperatures are closer to normal. We do have the potential for a light shower this afternoon in parts of the viewing area. I'll show you that coming up.
Good morning, Ken Smith here in the WRAL Live Center. Pennsylvania State Police looking for more than one suspected gunman in a shooting that happened early Sunday morning. This is brand new video into our newsroom from that scene. A 22-year-old man from the Pittsburgh area, whose name has not been released, died at that scene. The victims are treated at 4 different hospitals in that region. Officials say they're working to piece together exactly what happened based on what people are describing as a chaotic scene. Of course, they're asking for anyone with information to come forward, but this is a developing story in the Pittsburgh area that we'll continue to track here in the WRAL Live Center.
All right, thanks, Ken. This morning, international aid groups are scrambling to find survivors after a powerful earthquake shook the country. More than 2,000 people are dead, more than 1,200 hurt. 6.3 magnitude quake struck 25 miles west of Herat City in the western part of Afghanistan. And these images show the damage that was left behind. You can see collapsed buildings, just piles of debris.
And back here at home, we're working to learn more about a shooting that left 2 people hurt on Western Boulevard. This was the scene outside of Farouz Hookah Lounge. It happened early Sunday morning, just after midnight. As of right now, police have not released any information about a suspect. We do know that the 2 people shot are expected to survive.
Firefighters in Fuquay-Varina are investigating the cause of a townhouse fire on Whitetail Creek Way. This was in the town of Buckhaven. Now, fortunately, firefighters all got it out quickly and no one was hurt. No word yet on the extent of the damage.
Pope Francis is calling for an end to violence this morning. It's in wake of the attacks in Israel. The Pope spoke from his window on Sunday in St. Peter's Square. He said, quote, "Let the attacks and weapons cease, please, because it must be understood that terrorism and war bring no solutions, but only to the death and suffering of many innocent lives."
Oil prices are up this morning due to the Israel-Hamas conflict. New numbers show prices have jumped 4% since the attack over the weekend. The U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures rose nearly 5% to $88.6 per barrel. Now, analysts believe the increasing prices is a knee-jerk reaction for now. They don't believe oil supplies are in danger. It's important to note neither Israel nor Hamas is a major oil player. I want to give you an idea where gas prices stand this morning out of all this. These are brand new numbers from AAA, and as of right now, gas prices in North Carolina have dropped overnight. The average is $3.35 per gallon. Now, last week, the average was $3.43. The current national average is $3.70. Stick around later this morning. The Today Show will have live coverage from Tel Aviv, Israel, on the war as fighting rages for the second day after the attacks. That's coming up right after WRAL News at 6. Federal lawmakers return to Washington this week, where the spotlight will be on North Carolina Congressman Patrick McHenry. The Charlotte area Republican is the acting Speaker of the House. He'll oversee the chamber's election of a new Speaker. That process could start as early as this week. Republicans kicked out the last Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, last week, and they're now trying to decide who should replace him. McHenry is the first North Carolinian to be Speaker since the 1800s. WRAL state government team interviewed his friends and colleagues on both sides of the aisle just to get a sense of who he is and how he leads, even what kind of bipartisan he is brewing with a Democratic representative from Raleigh. For more on this local representative, who is now the most powerful person in the House of Representatives, you can go to nccapital.com.
The San Francisco 49ers put on a show for their fans in a marquee matchup on Sunday Night Football. Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown for the 14th straight game, and quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 touchdowns as the Niners beat the Dallas Cowboys 42-10. San Francisco is a perfect 5-0 on the season.
On the other end of the spectrum, the Carolina Panthers are the only winless team in the NFL. They're now 0-5 after taking a 42-24 beating against the Lions in Detroit yesterday. Bryce Young threw 3 touchdown passes, but also a couple interceptions. Panthers will get another chance for their first win Sunday in Miami. 4:48, we're coming up on right now. It feels like football weather out there. It is a little bit chilly this morning when you head out. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Bit of a change on the way this week as well, though.
Exactly. We're going to end up seeing some warmer temperatures moving on through. So the chilly air is not here to stay yet. I mean, eventually it will be. But it is that time of year where you really have to kind of check in the morning, especially if you're, getting the kids dressed for school. It feels chilly one day and then warm the next. And we're back to chilly air as we get into this coming weekend. 46 is our current temperature. Our dew point's 41. So it's nice and dry and crisp and clear and beautiful. Gorgeous blue sky yesterday. What a beautiful Sunday it was. Our temperatures will climb into the 60s right around lunchtime, and eventually we climb to near 70 for a high this afternoon. But there's some 30s on the map this morning. It's 39 in Southern Pines and in Roxborough. Not likely to see a lot of widespread frost this morning, but there could be some light patches in rural areas in our north and western counties. But for the most part, we're looking at low to mid 40s, and these temperatures are really similar to what we saw yesterday. It's a little bit cooler in a few places. 4 degrees cooler, Southern Pines, Fayetteville, and Clinton. It's 6 degrees cooler in Goldsboro than it was this time yesterday. Our normal low is 54, which is pretty chilly. We do see our normals creeping back by the end of the week, and it's even warmer than normal by Saturday, back into the mid 60s as you're heading out the door. So here's what's happening. We have the cool air in place right now, but by Thursday and Friday, we get a surge of warmer air, and you can see that when you take a look at the yellow color contours, but it doesn't stay that way. We have a cold front that'll come through. That's going to bring us the chance of a few showers. We're going to walk through that chance of rain for Saturday coming up. Behind it, we're back into a northwesterly flow, and our highs are in the 60s again on Sunday. So some big up and downs for us coming up. Fair forecast for Thursday looks fantastic. It's the first day of the fair. Of course, it opens at noon on Thursday, but you get the rest of the day. Just gorgeous. 79 at 2 o'clock and at 4 o'clock. By 8 o'clock, back down into the mid 60s. We'll see lots and lots of sunshine on Thursday. We do have the potential for an isolated shower late today. We have a disturbance that's up to our north and west, and we walk through Futurecast. It's clear all the way up until around the middle of the afternoon. So lots of sunshine to begin with. There's noon, but you can see that disturbance pushing in about 4 or 5 o'clock, a chance of a shower up in Mecklenburg County, Virginia. About 5 o'clock, some clouds around the triangle, and then from Durham northward during dinner time, there could be a quick little sprinkle. Checking the 7-day forecast, our warmest day of the week will be Thursday, where we hit 80 degrees for the first day of the fair. Friday right now looks fairly dry, could be a shower in the evening, and on Saturday we have that chance of a shower. We're going to walk through Saturday on Futurecast for you, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Well, she says she's the problem, but she may actually be the solution. Coming up next, how Taylor Swift's absence at Travis Kelce's game may have been a sign of bad luck for the NFL star.
Well, the house appears to be on fire. We'll tell you why firefighters weren't concerned about putting out the flames before it was too late. Blind auditions continue tonight on NBC's The Voice, and Mark Barger talked to the coaches.
Yeah, in particular about doing this first season without the show's winningest coach, Blake Shelton.
Oh my God. Blake Shelton saying farewell to The Voice not only meant a transition for the show.
Update from Blake, I'm cutting loads of firewood right now.
Aww. But for one coach in particular.
Wait, my name's Gwen Shelton.
How weird is it for you to be doing a season of The Voice and see somebody else sitting in the chair?
I never thought that I would do The Voice without Blake. I'm just going to be very transparent, guys. I just didn't.
But Gwen Stefani realized she didn't have to follow her husband's lead.
I don't know, they came around. It was kind of a split-minute decision. You know what? I love that show. I'm going to go back and do it again, and here we are.
Poor Blakey. This will be in the tabloids.
And it's not the first time that Stefani's had to adjust on The Voice.
I was nervous about going on the show when we were married. That would be weird, too. And it was just like riding a bike.
And even if Shelton's no longer in the studio,
should it be Gwen or Reba?
He's still there in spirit.
Reminisce about old times.
There's something super charming about now.
Something the Irishman takes advantage of.
You're shameless.
This is my second season on The Voice, and I would love you to be on my team.
But even without the cowboy,
it's been really fun. I love these people.
The Queen of Shelton shines. Mark Barger, NBC News.
Thousands of people laced up for the 35th annual Walk for Hope at Angus Barn yesterday. The walk raises money for research and treatment of mental illness. There was a family-friendly afternoon of food, games, music, and prizes at the end of yesterday's event. And the walkers say the cause was the main reason for it all.
This is probably my 28th walk, and my mom's been doing this a long time. It's a special cause in our family, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that hasn't been affected by mental illness in one way or another.
And WRAL is a proud community partner of the Walk for Hope.
All right, it's Monday morning, so it's, important that we talk about football that happened on Sunday. And we're wondering, is Taylor Swift actually Travis Kelce's good luck charm? Well, this is video of her at a previous game. She was missing in action, though, at her boyfriend's game yesterday against the Vikings. Travis injured his ankle in the game, had to leave for a little bit. He did return later after halftime, had a touchdown as well. Chiefs won 27-20.
I think she's his good luck charm. Just going to say it. All right, well, check this out. It looks like this house is on fire, but it's not. It's decorations. They look so realistic that it made some people actually call 911 reporting a house fire. This all happened in New York. Firefighters say the fake flames consisted of LED lights, a box fan, and some fog machine. I mean, it looks real. Wow. Coming up next at 5, we're following breaking news in Raleigh. An early morning fire at a car shop causes a response from crews. What Brett Neese was able to gather while on scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
Plus, one day out from Election Day across the Triangle, and we have a look at the areas where voters will head to the polls and what you need to know before casting your ballot.
And Israel is at war with Hamas following unprecedented attacks over the weekend. This morning, we have new developments on the conflict, including how the U.S. is supporting Israel and how local communities here in the Triangle are being impacted.